Now, as I look back on my life, I see Toni and our children, their wives or husbands, and our grandchildren. Each one of them is different. Each one of them has their own personality, their own background. And as we'll see in this psalm, two of our grandchildren are like those who are called from outside Israel. Two of our precious grandchildren joined our family because of a special movement from God. And a third is coming in late April or early May because of a miracle from God. Well, if you're joining us in reading through this 6-month reading plan through the book of Psalms, today's reading is Psalm 87, and I encourage you to read that psalm. Psalm 87, verses 4 through 6 says, I shall mention Rahab and Babylon among those who know me. Behold, Philistia and Tyre with Ethiopia. This is the one who was born here. But of Zion it shall be said, this is the one, and that is the one who was born in her. And in the Most High himself will establish her. And the Lord will count when he registers the people. This one was born there, Selah. Now Israel is to be a witness of God to the rest of the world. They were to evangelize the world, and they were to live as people who had a relationship with God. Unfortunately, in their history, they sometimes failed to live up to that calling, and yet, through Christ, as unseen yet in the resurrection, God has allowed that witness to speak to people's hearts, and those from Philistia and Tyre and Ethiopia, representing the world, were brought into that relationship and will join Israel and Zion. Now, even though this is a picture of the final time during the millennial reign, or an eternity future if you hold to a non-millennial viewpoint, I see it in the church today. Millions are coming to Christ in countries that do not have a strong history of Christian involvement. China, the Middle East, and even Russia and its previous satellite countries are beginning to question their previous lifestyles and are coming to Christ. Each one of these who come to Christ through faith are special, and they are special in a number of different ways. First of all, they overcame their culture and their background to place their trust in Christ. And secondly, and in all likelihood, in cultures that are opposed to Christianity. They suffered the loss of their family relationships because of their walk with Christ. And some of them maybe even martyred for their faith. Now, each one of these is going to be counted and registered with God's people. Each one of these are going to be a joy to God, and each one of these will have an impact on their people's lives. Now, we've talked before about how we can minister and how we can reach out to people during this pandemic. It is now that we should be focused on all our energies with bringing people to Christ through ministry. It is because of our actions and our faith that the church and our family will grow in both spiritually and physically. And if you would like a PDF copy of this entire reading plan, please send an email to phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.